Most people over 50 believe they know exactly how aging works. They believe the first signs show up in the face, the memory, or the heart. But what if the biggest warning, it doesn't start in the place everyone expects? What if the earliest sign of aging, the one that predicts how well you lines live in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, shows up somewhere far more surprising and far easier to overlook? What if the real mystery, if that the legs weaken in old age, but why they weaken first and why certain foods, forgotten by most seniors today, could quietly reverse that decline? Before we explore the 4 key foods, there is something deeper at play. Something doctors have been seeing for years, something aging researchers have been trying to warn people about. Because buried inside every major American health survey, a pattern that repeats across millions of people. The legs decline before the rest of the body does. Yet almost no one connects the dots until the weakness becomes obvious. To understand how we got here, we have to rewind the timeline, back to early adulthood. In our 20s and 30s, the legs are powerful. They carry us through long days, missed meals, late nights, heavy loads, rush schedules. The muscles respond quickly, they rebuild fast. They compensate for poor habits, and because everything still works, no one realizes that this period is quietly setting up the vulnerabilities that will appear 40 years later. During these early decades, most Americans eat whatever fits their lifestyle: fast food, convenience meals, low protein, too much sugar, too little micronutrients. The consequences are invisible then, but they are real. They silently shape how the muscles age. By the time people enter their 40s, the quiet changes begin. Not dramatic, not painful, just subtle shifts happening beneath the surface. Researchers have documented that starting around age 40, most adults lose about 1% of muscle mass per year unless they actively work to stop it. Even more surprising, the legs lose strength faster than any other part of the body. Quadriceps shrink earlier, calf muscles weaken, hip stabilizers lose endurance, but because life is still busy and people still feel functional, almost no one notices. They assume it's nothing: a little stiffness, a little fatigue, a little less power when climbing stairs. Nothing worth worrying about, but the body keeps track. And the next phase arrives right after 50, the point when small changes begin to matter. This is the shift most people ignore. American aging studies show that muscle loss accelerates between ages 50 and 60. The legs are hit hardest. And here's the twist few people ever hear about. The muscles in the legs are responsible for regulating blood sugar, supporting balance, protecting the spine, and even controlling how much energy the body produces each day. So, when the legs weaken, everything else begins to change, even if the symptoms don't appear immediately. This is also the decade when nutrient absorption becomes less efficient. The body no longer extracts protein, vitamins, and minerals with the ease it once had. Seniors often eat less as metabolism slows, while needing more nutrients than before. But instead of adjusting their diet, many people after 50 continue eating the same meals they did at 30, only smaller. The result? Gaps, deficiencies, and slow-burning problems no one sees coming. And then comes the breaking point. For some, it happens at 55. For others, at 65 or even 70. But it comes for almost everyone. It's the moment they notice their legs can't handle what used to be effortless. Climbing stairs becomes a challenge. Standing up from a chair requires grabbing the armrest. Walking long distances becomes tiring. According to major U.S. mobility surveys, over 40% of Americans over 65 report difficulty with basic lower body strength tasks. But here's where the real mystery deepens. Doctors now believe that declining leg strength is not simply a symptom of aging, it's a predictor of long-term health. People with stronger legs tend to live longer, maintain independence longer, and avoid major lifestyle limitations. Those with weaker legs face a cascade of consequences. That cascade is the fallout. The moment leg strength drops, balance starts to slip, falls become more common, and falls are expensive financially and physically. The CDC reports that fall-related medical costs exceed $50 billion per year in the United States. But the fallout doesn't stop with injuries. Weaker legs reduce circulation. Reduced circulation affects energy. Energy affects activity levels. Activity affects weight. Weight affects heart health. Suddenly, one change becomes many. And what do most seniors do when they notice the decline? They try the same failed fixes advice passed down from generations that didn't understand the science. They walk more, thinking it will solve the problem, but walking in weakness training. They take calcium supplements, thinking it will strengthen their legs, but calcium helps bones, not muscles. They stretch more, thinking flexibility will fix strength loss. It doesn't. They switch to senior diets that often reduce protein instead of increasing it. They try whatever seems simple, whatever seems familiar. But none of those fixes address the core issue. The legs need specific nutrients, in specific amounts, coming from foods most seniors do not eat consistently. Which brings us to the truth we've been circling around, for key foods that aging researchers say make a measurable difference in preserving leg strength in older adults. These foods don't reverse aging. They don't work overnight, but they provide the building blocks the legs lose fastest and the ones most seniors are missing the most. The first food supports muscle protein synthesis. The second supports joint function. The third supports circulation and anti-inflammatory repair. The fourth supports nerve communication and energy production. Each plays a different role, each fills a different gap, and together, they create the foundation for stronger legs in aging adults. The first food is salmon, or other fatty fish, rich in omega-3 south and high-quality protein. Researchers at several American universities have shown that older adults absorb animal protein more efficiently than plant protein, and omega-3 fatty acids enhance muscle repair. Seniors who consume fish 2 to 3 times per week maintain better leg strength over time. The second food is Greek yogurt or other high-protein dairy. Dairy provides leucine, a crucial amino acid for muscle preservation in aging adults. U.S. dietary studies show that adults over 60 who consume adequate leucine maintain up to 30% more lower body strength than those who don't eat. The third food is leafy green spinach, kale, Swiss chard, which provide nitrates that improve blood flow to the legs. Better circulation means better nutrient delivery. A large American aging study found that adults who consumed greens daily walked faster and had stronger leg performance than those who didn't eat. The fourth food is eggs, one of the most complete natural foods for older adults. Eggs contain protein, vitamin D, choline, B vitamins, and essential fats that support nerves, muscles, and energy production. Seniors who include eggs in their diet several times a week have better functional mobility in long-term studies. These are not magic foods, but they fill the exact nutrient gaps that aging legs suffer from. They strengthen the foundation before weaknesses become limitations. Now that we've uncovered the entire timeline, here are 3 direct actions people over 50 can start today. First, increase protein intake by 20%, not through powders, but through whole foods like fish, eggs, and dairy. This supports muscle preservation immediately. Second, include 1 serving of leafy greens every day. It improves circulation to the legs, which is essential for strength and endurance. Third, perform 1 leg-focused strength routine at least 3 times per week. Even simple chair stands or resisted step-ups make a dramatic difference over time. And here is the evidence-based warning. If you rely only on walking for leg strength after 60, you are strengthening your heart but not your legs. Without proper nutrients and resistance training, the legs will continue to weaken even if you walk more than ever. I'll leave you with one open thought. The legs may weaken first, but they also respond fastest to change. What you do now determines how well they carry you through the decades ahead. If you want to learn the next overlooked factor that determines whether you stay strong after 70, the one most seniors completely misunderstand, make sure you subscribe. The next video reveals the secret.